What's up, family? It's another beautiful day, loving. I'm going to drop some clips on Earth changes and the change the Earth going through, the volcanoes, the floods, etc. And my boy Edgar Casey, I have two books on him from way back in the band. He started predicting about how California being water and the whole East Coast being water, and he talks about a poor reverse, the North can go south and south can go north. It's Edgar Casey. He was a prophet back in the day in the 1930s or so. Anyway, folks, here's some clips on him and what's going on in the world now. So prepare, stay alert, stay informed. Just love you, loving, be loving and kind, caring.
A lot faster than usual.
Breaking news, a major current in the Southern Ocean has just reversed directions for the first time in written history.
And it's going through a detoxification phase.
Even more parts of America are now flooding.
When floods like this happen, the land is crying out for remembrance.
The eclipses crossed over San Antonio, pretty much exactly where this horrific, devastating flood just hit.
Like, y'all really have to look at everything on a spiritual perspective.
Let's just get into what's been on the algorithm. So there's been more going on.
It was going viral that Governor Greg Abbott, who was the governor of Texas, he said that if God was an illegal, that they would deport him as well. Just about 12 hours after this,
Here comes the flood.
That's when the flood in Texas, central Texas,
You don't mock God.
happened.
You don't mock the Creator.
Mind my business. Have y'all seen what them cats been doing?
Did you hear about the huge mystery that all the cats in the state of Florida and in southern Georgia are traveling to Miami and gathering in this certain spot? It's baffling the birds, and it's baffling the local city governors. They don't know what to do. And it's all the way, like I said, from Jacksonville, Florida, that is the most north of the state, and in Georgia, the cats are just leaving the homes. The ones that are domesticated, the alley cats are leaving, and they're trekking hundreds of miles all the way down to the south of
Something
the
is going on,
state.
folks. Something is
Scientific
going on.
experts think there might be some magnetic thing going on, like there's a magnetic
cats
epicenter there
can
that's
sense
messing
that
with the
something
cats'
is going
brains,
on.
and it's causing them to want to gather here. But look at all of these cats. And so local officials are going to PetSmart.
And other people are saying that we live in biblical times.
Are we currently living in biblical times? Why do I ask? Because this is the Passaic River behind me. Its location, New Jersey. This gentleman right here took his kayak out onto the Passaic River to go exploring. Upon exploring, the river turned blood red. As a matter of fact, take a look at the video.
This water right here looks like fruit punch. It's red. That is really weird. I'm paddling currently through red water. Yeah,
Look at that.
you can see in the splash. That water is red.
He continues further down the river toward like some type of giant sewer, and the water is separated into two different colors. As a matter of fact, check this out. Check this out.
Some type of sewer straight in front of us. You can see that the water inside it is not red.
Look at that.
It's red.
Red outside,
Right on the edge.
not on the
You
inside.
see
Look
a
at
defined line.
what is separating the water. And look how red that water is.
And the water that's inside that sewer.
Red drones in the sky, another.
Yo, there's all these red drones coming up out of the water and out of the sky right now. There's no way this is real. And it's coming out of the water. That's crazy. It's hovering over the water right there. Yes, look, hovering over the water right there.
Even more parts of America are now flooded. Entire neighborhoods are turning into rivers in New Mexico as whole-ass houses are floating away like they're nothing. Supposedly rose up to 19 feet in just a matter of minutes, leaving many in the village trapped inside their homes and their cars, causing a father and his two children to unfortunately pass away. But what started with the floods in Texas, which tragically has killed over 100 people, left 161 still missing. Well, flash flooding is now hitting multiple other parts of the U.S. too. In Durham County, North Carolina, neighborhoods were swallowed up overnight, leaving 19,000 people without power and 80 more having to be rescued. There's been severe flooding in eastern Oklahoma, leading to the evacuation of local Boys and Girls Club. In parts of Arkansas, floodwaters are covering the streets, and flash flood warnings are being extended to 4 parts of Cook County on Tuesday night, including the city of Chicago.
Volcano eruptions.
Situation here in North Houston as we continue to get downpours.
And somebody also said that the eclipse happened earlier this year, was trying to tell us where the flood would be and the next one to come.
Y'all, I'm a little shook. Remember how the United States recently had 2 major solar eclipses in 2017 and in 2024, and they made an X across the U.S.? Do y'all remember where the X was? I saw this originally on another creator's page, and I'm going to tag him below. But I would like to further elaborate on this, because as you can see, the eclipses crossed over San Antonio, pretty much exactly where this horrific, devastating flood just hit. But there was another X over the U.S. too. Not just one. It crisscrossed twice. And this one, y'all, it technically lands in Illinois, but it's pretty much sitting on the New Madrid. It's sitting on the New Madrid. And as soon as he pointed out that this crossing point was right over where the flood is, I kind of wanted to throw up, okay? Because this goes directly in line with solar eclipse lore. Because I don't know if y'all know it, because I don't talk about it often, but I am actually fluent in astrology. And I'm not being funny. I really am. But historically speaking, eclipses have always been a warning from the heavens, an omen of change, an ill omen 99% of the time. There's actually been solar eclipses that have preceded wars and plagues and famines and natural disasters. The rise and fall of empires. It's a thing. It's a real thing. What I'm getting at is that if this spot just popped off, this cross of the eclipses just activated, then this one is next. And that's us. That's us, and I don't like that.
The Schumann frequency glitched again when the flood started yesterday. Wait until you see what I found again. Not related, concerning the floods, in Arkansas, Oklahoma, New Mexico, Chicago, Texas, and all over the world. And by the way, it's not just floods. There are Revelatic signs put up everywhere. Not related at all. Signs of great frequency changes. Just behind me is Afghanistan. Oddly enough, and not related, it happened at the same exact time as all the other states. So look at all these charts you see right here. What you see is that in 4 or 5 different states, we had 1 in 1,000 year floods all on the same day, go back a day or two. Did you know that statistically impossible, that the weather today in 2025 is impossible? But did you know yesterday around the world, while the floods are going on, the floods all around the world, not just the U.S., did you know that there were 2 massive earthquakes in Guatemala? Not just that, did you know that in Washington there were 400 earthquakes at this mountain?
And we ain't gonna talk about the changes in the sky.
Never seen something like this. There's like tens of thousands of these reflective objects in the air. I thought they were, but looking closer, it's literally just these reflective objects. What is this?
Yeah, it's 9 o'clock at night in Atlanta. Tell me why the sky look like this. What going on? What in the Stranger Things is Demogorgon coming down? Like, what's going on? Are y'all here or what, aliens? What?
Right hand, the other night I was sitting outside and this light flew past the house and it just disappeared.
Breaking the news. Scientists are warning tomorrow and for the next few months, days will be shorter than ever. Some of the shortest in history because the Earth is spinning a lot faster than usual. There was filler space there because I needed everybody to understand what I just read and said out of my mouth. I did. The Earth is spinning. Let's speed this up. Come on. At this point, I think I can speak for a good majority of us. We don't give a fuck. At this
bring it on.
Age, brother,
bring it on.
We don't care. Let's just go ahead and get it. Let's just go ahead and get the ball going. Like, what the do you mean the Earth is going to spin faster than usual, and days will be the shortest. They said as of early as of tomorrow, the day could be shortest. It could be 6 o'clock, sun's down. I beg your finest pardon?
News, and I don't know why it's not being reported more, but there has been a major reversal in ocean circulation in the Southern Ocean, meaning that in the Antarctic there has been a sudden salt surge causing the ice to melt at a rapid pace. This is happening right now. For the first time, the current has reversed. This has never happened before, and they are witnessing it right now, and I don't know why it's not being put out there.
I'm pretty sure y'all heard the term, when the tides turn. But have you ever heard about when the ocean current turns? Well, that's a real thing, family. And it's happening right now, as I speak. Let's get into the article. For educational and entertainment purposes only. As you can see here, the title of the article is Southern Ocean Current Reverses for First Time, Signaling Risk of Climate System Collapse.
So now reports are popping up that NASA has confirmed that there's a galactic traveler that has officially entered our solar system named A11PL3Z. That's the only information we can confirm about it thus far.
Now at this point, I want to hear what the psychics got to say, cause somebody got to do some explaining, some talking, or something.
Edgar Casey, aka the Sleeping Prophet, predicted that the world would quite literally flip. But before it did, there would be some signs that we could look out for, like volcanoes erupting, floods everywhere, magnetic anomalies showing up. Do you know how many of those are happening in 2025? Damn near all of them. Volcanoes all over the world are waking up right now. And Casey warned that when Mount Etna and Mount Pelée erupted at the same time, we have about 90 days to get our together.
Okay, we need to pause for a second because I don't know who Edgar Casey is.
You're too young. You are too young, sweetie. You are too young.
Heard of the Sleeping Prophet? Edgar Casey is a man known to make uncanny predictions about events all over the world. I got 2 books on him. From presidential elections to world wars, Casey seemed to have an otherworldly ability to see into the future. But who exactly was Edgar Casey? Casey was born into a poor farming family in rural Kentucky. He was no ordinary child. While other kids were playing outside, Casey had a different passion. He wanted to study the Bible. He would often wander into the forest, where he claimed to play with mystical beings he called little folk. One day, when Casey was just 11 years old, he was reading his Bible in the woods when he had a visitation. A woman with wings appeared before him and asked what he desired most in life. Casey expressed his wish to help others, particularly sick children. Little did he know that this encounter would change his life forever. Shortly after, Casey's father received a letter from his school complaining about his poor performance. Out of frustration, his father tested his spelling skills and was deeply disappointed by the results. In a fit of anger, he knocked young Edgar out of his chair. As Edgar lay on the ground, his ears still ringing, he heard the voice of the winged woman from the forest. She instructed him to lay his head down on his schoolbook and go to sleep. When Casey woke up, he possessed an astonishing ability. He had absorbed all the knowledge from the book and could recite it word for word. This marked the beginning of his unique learning style, studying by sleeping on his books. By the end of the year, he had become the best student in school and even skipped a grade. His parents began to suspect there was something extraordinary about their son. However, Casey's life took a turn when he suffered a spinal injury while playing at school. He was left partially paralyzed. That night, as he slept, Casey recited the ingredients for an herbal cure that would heal his injuries. His parents prepared the remedy according to his instructions, and miraculously, Edgar woke up the next morning completely cured. Recognizing his extraordinary gift, Casey's fiancée encouraged him to share it with the world. Thus, Edgar Casey began performing readings twice a day on the sick and injured. In 1902, he gave a reading that would define his legacy. Casey also made predictions about future events, many of which proved eerily accurate. 6 months before the 1929 stock market crash, Casey warned his investor friends to sell their stocks. Those who heeded his advice were saved from financial ruin, while those who ignored him went broke. In 1931, he predicted the recovery of the worldwide economy in the spring of 1933, and it happened as foretold. In January 1934, Casey predicted the rise of Hitler in Germany, and sure enough, Hitler became Führer that August. Casey further stated that Hitler's reign would end only through an outside war. He also predicted the outbreak of World War II in 1935, envisioning an alliance between Austria, Germany, and Japan.
Okay, at this point, I done seen enough. Edgar is legit.
Yes,
now,
he is.
Most
Yes,
of those
he is.
volcanoes are active. Mount Etna just erupted the other day. And they're not alone. There's over 40 volcanoes erupting right now. That's not normal. That's pressure building up. There's even an underwater volcano off the coast of Oregon that is fixing to erupt. Next sign was water being where it shouldn't be, water rising up and reclaiming land. Casey said that California, New York, and Florida would all be underwater eventually. And Casey said the Earth's magnetic field would quite literally shift, and that is happening. Magnetic North Pole is moving towards Russia. Planes have to recalibrate their route. Scientists admit a full reversal of north and south is way overdue. Casey also predicted or warned about solar flares, solar storms could trigger the reset. We are at solar maximum right now. If we had a massive solar storm like the Carrington event, it would trigger a reset. Every day 2025 reminds me that Edgar Casey may have been onto something because the majority of the signs are there. Fires, floods, magnetic anomalies, civil unrest, because not only did Casey predict this earth would shift, he predicted that a new spiritual religion would rise up, that there is light after the dark. Favorite prediction that Casey made was that Atlantis would rise up, and then here recently, LiDAR imaging found ancient structures about the spot Casey predicted, but that's for another time.
Spiritual sisters, please enter the chat.
I keep telling y'all that Earth is shifting and is going through a detoxification phase, right? The Texas floods, you gotta remember, Texas hold layers of unhealed land trauma. Water is connected to emotional and ancestral realms. A flood is basically a return to sender. Texas is specifically in a timeline shift, and floods signify reset and realignment. Most of Texas sit on stolen indigenous lands. Most of Texas is soaked in the blood of slavery. Most of Texas used to be in genocide and violence. The waters is not simply flooding. They are returning what has been denied. When floods like this happen, the land is crying out for remembrance. Like, y'all really have to look at everything on a spiritual perspective. Floods reveals what foundations are false. Many of those people in the floods are fulfilling contracts, clearing ancestral debts tied to land, water, and colonization. Many people who have lost their lives in that flood have chosen this exit point. That water was not just water. It is a living spirit. That water, that flood, is ancestral memory and divine correction in motion. Many souls that are caught in that is going through collective baptism. Oh, I got chills right now. Souls are undergoing shadow work in real time. Those who survive will never be the same. They are spiritually marked by this cleansing. What you are witnessing is spiritual law, ancestral covering, and divine timing operating on the land. Much of Texas was taken violently. Most of Texas was built on enslaved Black bodies under white ownership. We are in prophetic cycles where systems of oppression is collapsing. What is happening is divine reversal energy.
Now look, y'all, as y'all know, words have reversed. Y'all also said that Earth's core has slowed down and it seems like it's moving backwards. Y'all just now figuring out that Earth has a heartbeat. Seeing more proof of frequency surges. And now y'all saying that Earth is spinning faster than it has ever spent. Now floods is happening. Volcanoes are erupting. Cats are gathering in strange places. The sky is looking pink at 9 o'clock at night in Atlanta. We saw another glitch in the Schumann resonance. Texas, New Mexico, North Carolina, all of these different places that are going through floods. I just want to get this straight, right? Okay, so water has always been cleansing. It's an element of memory, cleansing, transformation. It's a portal. Somebody I reacted to on my YouTube channel had said the tides have literally turned. People are talking about timeline jumping. And if you notice, floods occur during times of energetic buildup. So what does it mean when the tides turn and the currents reverse? What we see every year is a sign of an overwhelmed energetic grid. We know in America, right, the land, the energy of the land, the memory of the land has spiritual fractures all over the place. From slavery, indigenous erasure. Like 8 months ago, I really dug into the structures that they built on top of Native American burial grounds. Now, just to put another surge in your thoughts, would you say that when you are a transcendent, you're going in the process of transition into the afterlife, your body goes back into the earth. So your body, your flesh becomes one with nature. Anybody remember when Moana grandma became a stingray and she just came one with the ocean? When burial grounds is disrespected, ancestry is disrespected, the lineage following the ancestors has been disrespected. The blueprint of American soil built on disrespections. And things like this have happened all over the planet. Correct me if I'm wrong. When the tides turn, it means a reversal of fortune, meaning reversing a situation. What y'all are seeing is the tides turning. Water is alive, and it is an elemental spirit. And when that element comes through and cleans and washes away things and brings new memory, new remembrance, they said that with all of this happening right now, this is causing the Antarctic glaciers to melt. The memory in that water is coming. Come on now. The remembrance, the restoration of emotional and energetic equilibrium is being restored. The wisdom, what you're seeing in nature is an echo and a response to what is needed to be done. From what's been unlocking inside of me and what this woman talked about in the last video. The keepers, the guardians, the spirits, for a while they've been in dormancy. And guess what our indigenous family used to do around these times to assist with the cleaning? The remembrance. Let me just give you one example, just to broaden your mind on the connection we used to have to this planet. This is just the surface level stuff that they revealing to us. Our indigenous communities and ancestors held seasonal ceremonies, council meetings to restore the balance, seek protection, communicate with nature spirits, align with the earth and thank the earth, play music, dance with the earth. They understood that changes produced in nature and even people are results of the movements that happen with nature, with the stars, with the planets. They believe that the rivers also believed to help carry the souls of those buried in their ceremony on their next incarnation. This is where we begin reconstruction of the territory. Water is a pure element. Only with water the ancestral spirits can travel. The river carries it in all our information and all our spirituality. So when you see waters overflowing on land, what do you think that means? Is it clicking to you that colonial and Christian forces labeled spiritual practices demonic? They literally did witch hunts, trying to eradicate any practice that has something to do with connecting with the earth. So these practices that were trying to help transmute the energy, strengthen the nature, the ley lines, the earth's grid, the harmony with everybody. So as I'm observing everything that's happening, these are my thoughts. Now, if you made it this far in the video, I'm not trying to convince y'all of nothing. Okay, I'm just letting y'all know my thoughts and other people's thoughts, and y'all can choose whichever route you want to go with looking at this world and looking at nature and your relationship with the Most High. Now, that's all we got today. I hope y'all have a good rest of y'all day, and, you know, I'm going to continue to act on the downloads and the feelings that I get and the remembrance.
Well, folks, you hear it there. Earth going to serious change. And for the betterment of the people and the betterment of the earth. The earth is actually cleaning itself from all the polluted and the hateful and the violence and the killing and the blood from ancestors. Folks, it's going to get better though. Hang in there, ain't going to get better. Much love from out here. Peace out.